Hello, hello. Today we are going to speak about fear. Why? Because we have been doing some interviews and we have been listening stories about how people can confront their fears. So we have many people coming here, and usually people feel fear. People are not just comfortable and they are not just happy with the life because they have ups and downs. And this is a way that we can figure, hey, if sometimes I feel fear when I'm going to speak, why? And how can I confront this? How can I overcome this situation? So that's the topic for today. In order to start, we are going to speak about what is the meaning of fear. If you go to the dictionary, you are going to find words like hazard, like danger, that came from the primates. So when in the evolution of the human beings, primate they needed to be in groups. Why? Because if they were not part of the group, probably the animals came and they will die easy because they were just alone. So that means like they start feeling that they needed to be part of the group, that they couldn't be rejected. If they were rejected, that was synonymous of die. So extinction. And if we're going to speak about this, what kind of fears do I have, or human beings commonly they have? So the psychologist Carl Albrecht, I'm pretty sure that probably you know who is. He identified like five basic fears. So the first one is extinction. Yes, if I'm going to speak with someone and I'm not part of the conversation, that means like I don't exist there. And this is a fear. This is a real fear. When I want to approach other people, when I want to get another job, when I want to speak for business with one person, sometimes I feel if I don't get there, I'm going to die and my business is not going to survive. So this is a fear, a real fear that we feel. And also, it's a real fear, but in reality, it's not a real situation because fears are here. Fears are not in the present. If you read the book of Eckhart Tolle, he speaks about the power of now. So it's now. It's nothing that we are creating. Fear usually we are creating in advance. We are thinking, oh, this is going to happen to me, and usually it's not. One thing is it's going to alert you to say, hey, be careful with this. But another thing is like, okay, I will be alert, but what happened next? The next one is mutilation. When I have the fear of lose, and it's a lose of probably I'm going to lose something when I get sick. This is part of my fear that I'm going to lose or someone or some part of my body or my job, or I'm going to lose something. And then my brain starts thinking, what else? What else? After that, what else? What else? And so that's going to be overwhelming. And I spoke about the curve of fear. And in that point, if you haven't watched that video, I recommend you because I explained very well how that curve works. So in life, you have two options, or you look for to be certain to learn and know everything that is going to happen, or you choose to be happy and happy in the curve of fairness. So happiness, it's a new cycle for another thing. So the third one is the loss of autonomy, when I feel like I'm not in control, that I cannot control the situation. When I feel like if I'm going to speak with someone and I'm not going to be part of that conversation, I'm going to lose. And especially, I'm going to lose my self esteem because nobody can see me. If I cannot speak, they are not going to see me. And this is a process that I need to figure what tools can I use to be seen, or if I'm going to be there, what is my goal? So what I'm going to do there, if I'm going to participate because I want to learn something, or because I need to expose myself, because I need to give them information to get something. The next one is the fear of separation, when I feel abandoned, when I feel rejection, when I feel like I don't have connect bonds. For that reason, sometimes when you have groups, so people try to go to the same to the people that they know, that they have some common things. If they speak my same language, we are part of that group. But I try to avoid the other groups. I try to avoid to go to the mass, because in that mass is not in my language. So I try to do different stuff. And the fifth one is the fear of ego death. When I feel like everybody is thinking about me, is thinking about how I'm dealing with situation. When I believe like me is the most important person in this place. And uh, that's easy, because that's easy to solve when I start thinking about the importance of other people. When I'm speaking to you, my goal is like you are going to understand me, not that I need to make me understand. Yes, it's probably is the same for you, but if in reality I'm focusing in how I can explain the things like you can understand, like you can get something important here, this will be a completely different podcast than if I just focus in what I want to say and how I sound and how do I look, because this is not the most important. So what are the steps? Now we know what are our five fears, the most common fears. But then we need to solve it. We need to figure how can we improve that? How can we overcome with this uncomfortable situation? And I have been reading this book, The 4 Hour Work Week from Timothy Ferris, and today I was reading about the fear. Something that I love that he said is like when you take risk, when you decide to confront the fear, at that point, now you don't have fear. Now you don't feel the fear. Why? Because you are so busy. Your brain is figuring out how can you find resources to solve the problem, how you can go to the next step. And the first thing is, what is my problem? Why I'm feeling this in this way? So, and what is? So, do you recognize when you are when you have feeling this situation, when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel panicking? Where do you feel that? It's in your stomach, it's in your chest, it's in your throat. So where it is, because if you identify, then you are going, okay, I just need to breathe. This is something that is not a reality. My fear is not my reality, because I'm just creating this and I'm forwarding what is happening, and I don't want to do this. It's real. This, so now you need to start figure out what steps you need to take. So now I know, okay, when I feel fear, so I feel fear on my stomach, so I feel like I need to go to the restroom. So okay, now I know that I can control this. I can go to the restroom and then come back, and I'm ready to confront this situation. Then what's the worst scenario? What's the worst scenario if I go and I speak with people and they don't understand? So what happened? That I will need to create another way. That I need to probably next time go and prepare more my speech or about the topic. If I know what they are doing, I remember the first time that I took to take the certification to sell insurance for life and health insurance. And I remember the first weekend that I went to take the class, I didn't understand anything. And I said, oh my goodness. And everybody started speaking like how difficult it was to pass the test. And the teacher started asking questions, and I didn't understand what he was doing. And I was thinking, why I'm taking this class in English when my English is still not good? But then that I felt fear when I sat there on the classroom. I figure, so if he asks me, I'm going to feel ridiculous, because even if I don't understand him, so what can I answer? So this that was my first topic that was very scary for me. But I said no. So you are here because you are going to learn. What's the worst scenario that can happen here? That I don't understand, he's going to speak about with another student. He's going to repeat, or that means like I need to study harder than the rest. I need to, and finally, I need to tell you, I took the test and I passed the test. So it was hard. I worked very hard. But that was because I put love in that. Fear and love, they don't come together, because when you love something, when you have passion to get something, fear is not there, because you start looking ways to achieve your goal. So that's important. So when you are doing something, think about what is your reason to do that. So, and if you don't want it's like you have a job and you are thinking always, okay, I'm going to stick here until I have my retirement or until I have certain time. So figure, what are you losing here and what are you gaining here? So because that's the motivation. When you feel like you are losing more than the thing that you gain, you are going to move forward. But you need to feel your brain with all the reasons and think about, like, calm, like take your time, write. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to write, so we think, oh yeah, I can write it. But when someone tells us, hey, can you write a journal every day, write something during certain time, it's very difficult to stick on that, because then we said, oh no, I don't have time, I cannot do that. But writing, it's a really good tool to recognize about our fears, about if they are real or if they are just, we are just creating that. Every time that you feel a fear, think about, okay, this is something new, or I have been thinking about this fear for months or years. So if I'm in the same spot that 6 months, that 1 year ago, and I haven't accomplished my goal, if I haven't moved and I have the same situation, that means like it's time to move forward. You don't need to wait until something bigger happens. You can just try to make the changes and make it consciously. Make it like, think about, okay, what is my plan? How can I do this? How can I, what's who are the people that I can be surrounded to achieve my goal, to achieve what I want to do. And another thing, just always think about, when you go to speak to someone, even if you don't speak it perfectly, uh, think about, are they concerned about my English? Or I'm sure every time that you make a mistake, you learn from your mistake, because you don't forget about the mistakes. But other people, yes, they forget about your mistakes. Why? Because they are so busy thinking in their life. They have many things, more important things, that if you said the wrong word, or your pronunciation was bad, or if you make one mistake, they probably laugh. They probably tell you, I don't understand, or whatever, but then they move on. The problem is like you stick there. And sometimes that fail, you think like it's a fail. It was not a fail, because that was the way that you figured that that was a mistake that you have. Usually, the mistake that you make every time that you are speaking are always the same, until you recognize what is the pattern that you are doing, what is the pattern that you need to break. Once you understand that, and usually that happens when you are speaking with another person, at that, in the real moment, you figure, oh, I did that, and that was because blah blah blah, and then you start understanding in your brain. So, but I don't want to go further, because I like short videos, like you can understand, you get to the point, be clear, be the most clear that I could, and just keep going, because this is life. Life is about ups and downs. But the most important thing is you are not going to get in the down for long period of time. You just need to go forward, move faster, because that's life. Thank you, and we continue learning together. Thank you.